People are trying to make a big deal out of Brittany Griner's dunk in the All-Star game, and let's just ignore the fact that this would be the least exciting dunk ever seen in a men's JV game, but this is super irresponsible of her, because don't you think you'd stay away from traveling like this after everything she's experienced?
Said she could beat DeMarcus Cousins in one-on-one, and then they went around asking a bunch of NBA players. The head coach is a UConn.
So, something unexpected has just happened. Brittany Griner is now hinting at a potential move to the NBA, and this doesn't sound like an ordinary comment or simple publicity move. The timing has immediately caught fans' attention and raised questions about what could happen next. Griner has dealt with plenty of controversy throughout her career, but this latest development has created an entirely new wave of speculation. Now fans are wondering whether an NBA move could be her next major career move, a chance for a fresh start, or simply an escape from the current spotlight. Could Griner have been preparing for this possibility all along?
The basketball world. Brittany Griner has walked away from the game she once dominated, citing a relentless wave of public hate and emotional exhaustion as the final straw.
Now, to be fair, this didn't completely come out of nowhere. Just a week earlier, Griner appeared to shift her public messaging, with her publicist sharing 3 cryptic posts focused on elite men's competition and the idea of leveling the playing field. At the time, most fans barely noticed. Then, alleged internal emails from Atlanta Dream staff reportedly surfaced, claiming Griner was attempting to shape public perception while dealing with off-court questions. That's when the speculation intensified. Looking back, some fans believe there were clues hiding in plain sight. During a sideline interview last season, Griner reportedly started saying, "If I was in the NBA," before stopping herself. It seemed insignificant at the time, but fans are now viewing it differently. Another resurfaced clip shows Griner saying, "Everyone should be allowed to play ball."
Deserve the right to play. Everyone deserves the right to come here, sit in these seats, and feel safe, and not feel like there's a threat or they can't be who they are. Definitely will be speaking up against that legislation and those laws that are trying to be passed, for sure.
At the time, Brittany Griner's comments appeared to simply support the idea that athletes from all backgrounds should have opportunities to compete at the highest level. But with new speculation surrounding her future, some fans are now wondering whether those remarks could have been early hints that she was considering a surprising move to the NBA. Adding even more mystery is the silence from the Atlanta Dream front office. The organization has not publicly addressed the alleged leaks, the rumors about Griner's future, or the claims circulating across social media. That silence has only encouraged more questions. Then another moment sent social media into overdrive. A former WNBA teammate reportedly unfollowed Griner across several platforms before sharing a cryptic message. When the truth hits, they always pivot like it was part of the plan. Fans quickly began connecting the dots. Reddit discussions grew. NBA TikTok creators revisited old Griner interviews, and attention shifted toward what might be happening behind the scenes. However, there is an important distinction between speculation and verified information. Claims involving an alleged fraud case, leaked internal communications, or falsified medical records should not be presented as established facts without credible evidence. Online rumors have suggested that Griner's camp was involved in private damage control, involving documents connected to a lawsuit in Phoenix. Some of the most serious allegations involve supposedly falsified medical records connected to a 2022 injury exemption. Those claims remain allegations unless supported by reliable legal documents or official statements. Fans have also speculated about whether such an exemption could have affected Griner's availability or financial incentives. But until credible evidence emerges, the bigger theory surrounding a potential NBA move remains exactly that: speculation.
Everybody knows who Brittany Griner is, and if you don't know who Brittany Griner is, she is the WNBA star that we traded a weapons terrorist for about a year ago. And recently, a momentous personal occasion has happened for her.
You're about to be a mom. How is that feeling? Pops. Oh, let me get it together. About to be a pops.
Now look, man, it's 2024. I don't care if a woman and a woman want to have a kid together. Good on that. More power to them. But it's just so weird to me. You want your son to call you Pops, and whenever his friends ask, "What does your dad do for a living?" he's supposed to say, "Oh, he plays in the WNBA." Now, to make this even more confusing, Brittany Griner maintains that she is a biological woman and identifies as female. I don't know. Congratulations to Brittany Griner for bringing in a baby boy. I just think it's very fascinating how this human somehow finds a way to create controversy out of everything.
Even if there were a chance this entire situation could eventually disappear from the headlines, the surrounding questions have made the NBA speculation even more intriguing. At this point, some fans are wondering whether a potential move would be a genuine career decision, a distraction from the current controversy, or even a carefully planned exit strategy. That leads to one major question. Was an NBA opportunity always part of Brittany Griner's long-term plans, or is it becoming an alternative as her WNBA future becomes less certain? And there's more history behind this. Griner's relationship with the WNBA has been complicated since her Russia ordeal. The league welcomed her return and publicly celebrated her comeback.
Nice to be back on the court in a real game and everything. The love from the fans when I came out was amazing. The players, I definitely feel it. I appreciate everything a little bit more. All the little small moments that I used to just like, oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I don't want to go to practice today, or oh, this, that. I think that has changed, honestly. Just appreciating everything because, tomorrow's not guaranteed. You don't know what it's going to look like. So I think that's kind of how it changed.
But behind the scenes, reports suggested that tensions were beginning to emerge. Some insiders allegedly claimed there was frustration over the amount of media attention Griner received, with certain players believing she was being positioned as one of the league's biggest faces despite inconsistent results on the court. So when the lawsuit-related claims began circulating, some fans questioned why the league didn't immediately respond. Instead, there appeared to be silence, which only fueled additional speculation. Then another report made the story even more interesting. According to unverified claims, Griner's camp had allegedly contacted two NBA organizations, the Houston Rockets and Charlotte Hornets, about the possibility of participating in private scrimmages.
Said she could beat DeMarcus Cousins in one-on-one. And then they went around asking a bunch of NBA players. The head coach of the UConn girls, Gene, I can't remember his last name.
Oriema?
Yeah. He said, if there's no ref and they're playing one-on-one, I'm selling my house, I'm taking all my money out of my bank accounts, and I'm putting it all on DeMarcus.
What makes this situation so intriguing is the claim that the focus isn't on a full contract or official exhibition deal, but reportedly on private scrimmages. Why does that matter? A scrimmage could provide an opportunity to test the waters without the commitment or pressure of signing a contract. If the response were positive, it might create possibilities for something larger. That leads to the obvious question, why now? Elite women's players have trained and scrimmaged against male athletes before, but turning that experience into a potential professional career move would represent something far more significant. Still, these reports remain unverified.
She's that confident in her abilities. She's also a little delusional. It's not a walk in the park over here.
I'm just going to use that to fuel this. I mean, I'm better, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay, little man.
You like the confidence, BG, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I got cuz on that one.
If there's no referee, I'm going to go to the ATM and I'm going to sell my house and I'm going to put all my money on DeMarcus.
And just when it looked like the situation was beginning to settle down, another alleged leak appeared. This time, reports claimed it was a voice note from a WNBA staff meeting in which a coach allegedly referred to Brittany Griner as damaged optics in motion. What happened next drew even more attention. Her former agent reportedly unfollowed her, removed promotional content, and took her name off a featured talent list. If accurate, those moves suggest that something may have changed behind the scenes. But what does the NBA actually say? Officially, there has been no confirmed announcement. According to reports attributed to sports journalists, there appears to be curiosity surrounding the possibility rather than any firm commitment. One league source reportedly said, Brittany's proposal felt more like a PR reset than a genuine pitch. And honestly, that reaction makes sense because people aren't just watching her basketball highlights anymore. They're following every headline surrounding her. And that may be exactly what her team wants. But the situation becomes even more complicated when you look at how divided the fans are. Some believe Griner is being fearless, challenging expectations, and potentially creating a historic moment for basketball. Others aren't convinced at all, asking a much tougher question. If the talent is undeniable, why depend so heavily on controversy and attention to prove it? When all the pieces are placed together, the entire situation can start to look less like a straightforward basketball opportunity and more like a carefully planned media spectacle. But before going any further, we need to examine Brittany Griner's media strategy throughout this entire situation.
On the court, and it hit me hard, So just looking forward to all those moments, just walking in on the first home game.
I played in front of everybody in one place, honestly, since like high school, honestly. So just having everybody here.
Over the last 48 hours, Brittany Griner's team has reportedly been working to make a potential NBA move more appealing to fans. That reportedly includes discussions about a competitive reevaluation, resurfaced footage of Griner dunking against male players, and hints about a possible documentary covering her next chapter. Some insiders claim the documentary may already be in post-production, with early promotion quietly beginning. That could explain the sudden attention around Griner, including her recent interview with Cam Newton. During the appearance, Her messaging seemed focused on presenting a more relatable, accessible, and marketable image to the public.
From Houston.
Yes.
H-Town.
Born and raised.
All right. How was that growing up in the city of Houston for you?
I mean, it was pretty easy at first. You know, I wasn't into sports really at first. I was an active kid, but like I would climb trees, riding bikes, skating, all that. But I wasn't into basketball just yet. Grew up with my parents, and you know, they did their best to make sure I was on the straight path. But it was cool. It got hectic once I got to high school, and that dunk video came out. That's when life kind of started changing.
Right.
But all of this leads to a much bigger question. Is this potential move really about redemption and rebuilding Brittany Griner's image? Or is something else happening behind the scenes that fans simply haven't seen yet? An alleged DM exchange reportedly leaked from an anonymous WNBA employee with someone asking, "Is she really moving to the NBA?" The response was reportedly even more intriguing. "She's not moving. She's deflecting." That single statement immediately changed the conversation because it raised the possibility that the NBA talk could be distracting attention from another issue. If there is any truth to that theory, whatever is being avoided could be significant enough to push Griner toward a completely different chapter outside the WNBA. For the league, that would create even more questions. So far, the WNBA appears to be watching the situation without making any major public moves. There have been no major statements, no aggressive response to the NBA rumors, and no obvious attempt to control the growing speculation. That silence has only created more theories. Is the league simply stepping back, or has Griner been left to handle the situation on her own? Meanwhile, the alleged lawsuit reportedly remains sealed, the supposed internal emails remain unverified, and the documentary rumors continue circulating online. All of this makes the situation look less like a simple career decision and more like a potentially complicated transition. If that is really what's happening, the biggest question may not be where Griner is going next, but what she is leaving behind. Until credible evidence or official statements clarify these claims, the NBA speculation will continue creating more questions than answers.